Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 77 of the San Marino Challenge. Now, today's episode, as you can see, will be the UEFA Super Cup against RB Leipzig. Of course, Leipzig won the Europa League last season, and of course, previous episode, we won the UEFA Champions League for the first time in the club's history. However, this is our second time in the Super Cup, albeit the first time we lost in extra time to Barcelona. I think it was 3 seasons ago. And it's been a bit of a thorn in the side. And it's definitely been a competition that I've wanted to win since we lost in somewhat heartbreaking fashion. Got a few things to go over. First of all, of course, the transfer activity, which, there was a little bit of activity, to be fair. We'll do the outs first, and the first player to go was D'Angelo, left on a free transfer to Swansea. Never really developed how I wanted him to. I mean, to be fair, I don't really think he developed at all from the time that we signed him. And of course, he's 23 years old now, so it was quite some time. Now, the next transfer, there was nothing I could do. Zoran Nesic, 43 mil release clause activated by Barcelona, and the 22-year-old Serb has unfortunately left us. He leaves a pretty bad lack of depth in the fullback department. Obviously, last season we were struggling without a right back, and then I retrained Michelotti to play right back, albeit he's a natural left back. So with Nesic departing, it left a pretty wide hole, in the fullback department. We've plugged it a little bit, but I think I should have maybe done a little bit more, because one of the transfers that I made isn't actually going to happen until further in this year. So I'm not sure if it's January or if it's next season, but we do have a signing that is already made. Anyway, Matavina went to Palermo on loan. Palermo, I think they're in Serie B. Yeah, they've gotten relegated again. They've just been fluctuating really badly between Serie A and Serie B. So hopefully Matavina can get them back up into the top division in Italy. We then loaned out Petrocevic to Genoa, another Serie B team. It was a pretty hard one, to be honest, letting Petrocevic go out on loan. He really improved, and he actually played a lot of games last season at Salernitana. Yeah, it was a hard one. We have a pretty good central midfield stock. I made another signing as well, more of a defensive midfield signing. But yeah, just our whole midfield, I think, is pretty well versed in depth, especially the two centre mid positions. Still, Genoa, it's a pretty good loan move. We then sold Dom for 5.5 million to Cologne, FC Cologne. Again, similar to D'Angelo, never really developed how I wanted him to. He was supposed to be the Champalat replacement, and well, he couldn't even lace Champalat's boots, to be honest. We then let Camille Gora go out on loan to Fiorentina. I really like the look of this guy, but I did bring in another defensive midfielder, as I mentioned. And yeah, the competition for places is just a little bit too high at the moment. So a loan to Fiorentina in Serie A. I think they offered him first team football. But yeah, a little bit of money per month as well.
Glory battles Sydney FC on Sunday at 6:30 p.m.
Apologies about that. My phone just decided to go a bit crazy with the voice activation there. We then loaned out Terenzi to Pisa Calcio. Not a great loan move for him, to be honest, purely for the fact that it was a rotation playing time, and yeah, there was no other interest except for Pisa, so I feel like Terenzi's career is probably going to stagnate a little bit, which I'm worried about. Similar sort of thing for Ugolini here. He went out on loan to Salernitana, again, only as a rotation player, which I'm worried about. And the final player to leave the club on loan was Bernardi. He went out on loan to Lega Pro team Taranto, but he'll be getting first team football as well. He is currently the national team goalkeeper, so hopefully that'll aid his development a little bit. Anyways, the players that we have brought in for this season. Sogadogo is a 20-year-old French goalkeeper. Was brought in on a free transfer. Basically, his contract was running out. We signed him on a Bosman. A little bit of potential left in him. Basically, I've just signed him as, a backup goalkeeper to Ingvarsen. I think he's pretty good in terms of his quality. Obviously, the rushing out and the first touch doesn't really help him as a sweeper keeper, but I think when called upon, he'll be a pretty decent backup. Also, really low wages, only 3.2k per week. The next two players, Zotti and Albani, were brought in from the remaining San Marinese clubs for 750k each. We also signed this guy as well, Zonzini, for another 750k. And now I have basically given every San Marinese club 750k. Doing about 3 or 4 over the last four or so seasons. I'm not really too sure about that whole investment, if it's working or not. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. A lot of the clubs are still semi-professional, which is worrying, but then, I don't know. I'm just hoping that they do, improve their youth recruitment and their facilities as well, I guess. Their training and youth facilities. We then brought in this guy, Dominique Gautheron. I'm going to go with Gautheron. 18-year-old French, can play both centre mid and defensive mid. More of a deep lying playmaker, though, to be fair. And he's basically signed as Nolascoine's replacement. Of course, Nolascoine's contract will run out at the end of this season. We did choose to give him another year at the club after, a pretty successful campaign last year. I think we won everything, to be fair. So, yeah, I was happy enough to give him that extra year. He's getting on, I think he's 33 now, 32. Not 100% sure. And the final two players are players we brought in on loan. The first of which was Cordon from Real Madrid. Just a right winger. He's a wonder kid, really good pace, pretty good crossing and dribbling. Probably going to be back up to Vitek for this season. And this player, Ian Mallon, Scottish 22-year-old left back on loan from Manchester City. And we're just paying wages for both of these players. And to be fair, Mallon looks pretty solid in terms of replacing Nesic, which was very important to do. So I'm happy with that. I still feel like we're lacking a little bit. And I did actually, this is a guy I signed, and he won't be coming until January. So that is good. I thought it was January, but I wasn't 100% sure. Brambati, 17-year-old Argentinian right back. Looks really good. Really good defensive stats, especially for a fullback. Only cost us 8.75, which was his release clause. Unfortunately, he's a non-EU player, so that will take up one of the slots. But it is what it is. And of course, we essentially had the available slot as well. So yeah, they're the transfers. Let's go into the fixtures here now. As you can see, we managed to beat Lyon, PSG, Boca Juniors, Tottenham, PSV, CSKA Moscow, and finally Sevilla. And yeah, we only conceded 2 goals in the whole preseason, which I think is it's a pretty decent, stat to see, albeit these friendly games don't really mean much apart from building up match fitness. So yeah, that's that. I just want to quickly check Okay, I was just double checking that we were still recording because of the whole phone debacle earlier in the episode. I do apologise for that. But yeah, let's get into today's lineup. Actually, there's one more thing I've got to show you. Completely forgot about it. The notebook. At the end of last season, I got this. Well, obviously the planning stage had finished for the stadium expansion. And as you can see, the board have announced plans to enlarge the stadium by 8,601 seats. Initial work cost will be around £21 million, 5 months to complete, and the ground's capacity will be reduced as one of the stands will be closed. And basically that leaves us with a max capacity stadium once it is finished being built. I think we'll be at 34,000, 402, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken. It was something like that. Anyways, let's delete that note. And that was pretty much what I wanted to show you guys. Completely forgot about it though. Anyways, today's starting lineup is going to be Ingvarsson in goals, Yusufi at right back, Ivan and Sabir as the two centre halves, and then we're going to go Michelotti at left back. Nolascoin will be the defensive midfielder. Then we're going to have Novi and Britos as the two centre mids today, and that is because Viviani picked up a suspension from the Champions League final, so he'll miss out today. Disappointing. Obviously, club captain would love him to win another trophy with the club, but it is what it is. Then we've got Famato on the left wing, Vitek on the right wing, and we're going to go with Albani up front. I was tempted to play Maurizio Piu. However, he's not match fit. I haven't really given him much game time during preseason. It is what it is. Anyway, on the bench today, we're going to go with Vicini, Malin, Biordi, Sokolic, Schmidt, Piu, Cervellini, Gatheron. I have no idea. I'll have to double check the pronunciation. We'll call him Gatheron from now on, or for now anyway. Mazzari, who played for the under-20s, so he's lacking his condition. Cordon, and finally Chanpalat. Unfortunately, the new goalkeeper has also picked up an injury. Sogodogo is going to be out, I think, for 4 weeks. Yeah, 2 to 4 weeks. So I guess I'm going to have to call up the backup goalkeeper, or the under-20 goalkeeper, who is a San Marinese player. He only has like 13 reflexes and pretty, dreadful stats apart from that. Anyways, let's get into the game today. This episode has gone on for quite some time so far. Looking for a big performance here today. I really want to get... This is like one of the only cups I haven't actually won, so I think it would be pretty satisfying to actually win this, of course. I mentioned the Barcelona game a couple of seasons ago. It was pretty hard to take. It was a disappointing loss, if I'm being honest. I know it was against Barcelona, so you should probably expect to lose, but yeah, I don't know. After winning the Europa League that season, I just, I was probably filled with confidence, maybe overconfidence a little bit, as we're picking up a couple of yellow cards here. It's going to ease Albani off as well. Nolascoin picked up the first yellow there. Always a little bit nerve-wracking when your defensive midfielder picks up a yellow card. And Leipzig have scored. Scotter. I mean, a lot of their players aren't even match fit, which is even more frustrating, if I'm being honest. And we're 1-0 down. And, I mean, a few of our players are on 6.6 ratings, which is frustrating, to say the least. Anyway, we'll ease Yusufi off as well. A lot of interest in Yusufi and Ivan during this preseason. Ivan, well, Stuttgart put in an offer, and I sort of had to price them out of it, if that made sense. I tried to get like 55 million for him, and they just ended up withdrawing after a little while. And I did give him a new contract. I'm not sure if he signed it though. I'll have to double check that. And I mean, we're going to have to make some subs here because this is just dreadful, to be honest. Maybe I should have brought Pew on, come up with another goal. But Vitek's on a 6.3. I mean, even Famato's pretty dreadful at the moment. Let's bring Let's bring Sokolik on. We'll keep Famato out there, just purely for the fact that, you know, he is arguably he's probably our second best player behind Sabir, if I'm honest, but hopefully we don't miss a goal here, as I'm just going to tell Champlat to tackle harder because, yeah, why not? Anyway, we have a corner for Marto, Britos, cross, Cordon. Oh, he's hit the post. Oh my god, that was ricochets galore. Anyway, Sabir's put the ball in the back of the net, and it's 1-1. Although, yeah, Cordon hit the post, and then Champlat hit the post, and luckily, Sabir managed to put the ball in the back of the net. I mean, could this game go to extra time, like the last Super Cup did? I mean, it's possible, but I'm really hoping that we can manage to win it in the in normal time. Cordon out in this right wing. Not a great cross. Oh my god. Champlat poaches goal. Honestly, I think their goalkeeper probably should have done better there. It looked like he kind of fluffed it a little bit. And yeah, their left back is on a... Well, he just got replaced, but he was on a 6 match rating. Ooh, that was a strong tackle. I don't know if that was a cross come shot or what that was, but yeah, it wasn't too impressive. Anyway, Champlat bringing the ball forward here now. Yusufi with a nice little header. And there we go, 3-1. 10 minutes left. It's looking like we've won this game, which I'm pretty happy about. I mean, we were dreadful in the first half. Like I said, there were 6.6s. I mean, even Britos, we'll take him off, even though it's pretty much full time here. Yeah, I mean, Vitek with a 6.3. He was woeful. Absolutely woeful. Leipzig are in behind. There's no one in the centre for them, though. And Sokolik manages to gather the ball. And there we go. We've lifted the UEFA Super Cup, finally, after we disappointingly lost it a few years ago. And I'm just telling the boys that, you know, they've done really well to come back, even though they probably shouldn't have, you know, been in that position because, you know, we're probably the better team. You know, not taking anything away from Leipzig. They are actually a good team in this save currently. But there we go. We do lift the UEFA Super Cup. And luckily, Britos' injury is only for 3 days. And we also get another cheeky 4 mil as well, which I'm really happy with. And Sabir was also man of the match. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you could drop a like on the video, it'd be much appreciated. Subscribe as well if you haven't already. And apart from that, take it easy and goodbye.